Hello, welcome to Lesson 2, Accessing Bills Lists and Treasurer's Reports. This lesson will show you how to access important township financial information on the Newtown Township website. It specifically will focus on how to find bills lists and treasurer's reports on the township website and how to analyze the data for useful insights. As a resident, you may be interested to see exactly how your tax dollars are being spent, by whom, and who gets those dollars. The bills list is a great way to find that information. As always, the first step is to go to the township homepage, which is www.newtownpa.gov. The logical place to start may be in the departments menu and specifically the finance department in the drop-down menu. So let's try that. Okay, so this is the finance department page, and there's lots of interesting financial information here, such as the annual budget, financial statements, monthly treasurer's reports, and requests for proposals. We'll look at the treasurer's report at the end of this lesson, but there's no folder here for bills list. Okay, so let me give you a secret for finding the bills list. You have to open the government drop-down menu, which is here, and go to boards and committees, and then go to the Board of Supervisors submenu and click on Board of Supervisors. This brings us to the Township Board of Supervisors page, which you may think is not the most likely place to find bills list. Just stay with me and we will find out why the bills lists are available from this page. So I'm scrolling down here. You see Zoom meetings here, how to watch previous Zoom meetings and other broadcasted meetings. And you'll see the Board of Supervisors photos here, and these will allow you to contact each one by email. But what I'm interested in is going down this list. You'll see minutes and agendas. Now, I'm going to be looking for the July 14th, 2021 bills list. So let's click on 2021, and what do we see? Here we see agendas, and here's the bills list. Now, it's interesting, all these items in this page relate to the supervisors because this is the stuff that supervisors would be interested in looking at. That's my guess anyway. If it were up to me, I would include the bills list folder on the finance page as well. Anyway, let's click on the bills list folder to open it up. And you will see all the bills for the bills lists for 2021. And down at the bottom is the July 14th one. And you can scroll down there and you'll see this list, but let's click on it to open it up. And all these are in PDF format. So first you'll see the preview on the screen, which may take a little while to load. Okay, now you see the bills list for July 14th, 2021. Let's skip this information and scroll down. And here are the pages where individual bills are. And on page 1, if you will scroll down to this area, Bella Commercial Services, you'll see a bill of $1,213 for the June janitorial services in the parks. Now that service was needed because we were not able to hire enough temporary summer workers to help clean up the bathrooms. So at the top of the screen, you'll see several options. You can print this, or you can download it. And I'm going to download this document so we can take a closer look at it. Okay, so I downloaded the bills list to my computer, and it's now open up in my Adobe Reader software. And you could see, there's a list of all the invoices or bills from vendors. You have a column here for vendor names, like the Allen Portable Toilets Incorporated. You have a description of the bill, and these bills are for the portable toilets that are at various parks in the township, mostly Clark and Skate Park and Helen Randall's Park, Chandler Field. And these are the amounts of each bill. And you can go down here and see other kinds of charges. I'll also just to show you from Bella Commercial Services, a janitorial service for the parks. And that's mostly to clean up the bathrooms, and it's $1,213. Now you might be wondering why we need portable toilets, and while the regular toilets are open and being cleaned. I don't know the complete answer to that, and that's one of the reasons I like looking at the bills list to see what we're paying for, and then being able to answer the question, why are we paying for this? But I'll let that go for now. And one thing I want to point out is that all the bills lists are in a unsearchable format. There are two types of PDF files, ones that are scanned into like a graphic mode, which this is, and you can tell it's not searchable, because if it was searchable, my little cursor here would be a bracket and not this cross. So for example, if I wanted to search for any bill that had to do with Wawa, I might go up into the Adobe, the Acrobat little window here and try to search for that in this document, but it won't find it. So the reason why it can't find a Wawa is because this is not a searchable document. I can prove that by if I search for something I know is in here, like portable, because right there is portable. And if I search, it's going to give me the same result. So what has to be done is that this document has to be converted to a searchable document. And to do that, you'd have to use optical, I think it's optical character recognition software. So I'm going to recognize the text using OCR, which is built in to my Acrobat Reader program. So I'm going to do, right now I'm going to do all the pages and just show you, how long that takes. So it's going page by page now and interpreting the graphics and converting the graphics into editable text that can be selected, copied and pasted, and text that can be searched. And when it's finished, I'll show you that indeed the search function does work. So let's now do find portable, and there you go. So I'm going to go back and look for Wawa. And here we have at least two places where Wawa is mentioned, and it has to, they're bills from Kilkenny Law Liability Corporation. And I can tell you that these bills are for being a solicitor representing the township in the Wawa hearing before the zoning hearing board. Wawa is asking for some variances. The supervisors have voted to oppose those variances, and we sent our solicitor from Kilkenny to the Wawa hearings, and that's what these charges are for. By the way, the minutes of supervisors meetings used to be in an unreadable, unsearchable, uncopyable format, PDF format, until I requested that they all be in the searchable format, so that when you download minutes from meetings, as in the first lesson, you can actually search through the minutes for things you're looking for rather than reading through pages and pages. So I find these two bills here, one dated, I guess, in May and one in June. There's no information about what these bills are for, but as I said, I know what these are for based upon what we asked the company, the solicitor, to do to represent us. Now that the PDF file is in a searchable format, I could do copy and paste these data. And you can see it's a problem selecting which data you want to copy, but I have a method by which I did that, and I will show you my results next. Okay, so here you can see I've copied the data from the July 14, 2021 bills list for Kilkenny Law. And I was able to do a little calculation that the services bills related to Wawa are 30.5% of the total bills from Kilkenny for that month. But I could do some more interesting things with the bills list. For example, I looked at all the legal services for 2020 and put them into a spreadsheet. And I had a column for the firm, the description of the services, the amount, the bill's date that it was taken from, and the general category of what the services were about. For example, were they involving labor negotiations, litigation at a court or quasi-court, like the zoning hearing board maybe, that sort of thing. I also put in here what I thought these, where these things were happening, about what projects or developments where, where they were a solicitor, that sort of thing. So I could do an analysis, and you can see there were over 200 bills from law services, law firms in 2020. So here's my summary. I could summarize it by category and get an estimate that 73% of the total of $161,000 was for representing us as a solicitor. You could see there's a little bit over the budget. For litigation, it was 16%. For labor negotiations, it was 11%. And then I could break it down by, the type of activity, whether it was related to Arcadia, had to do with COVID, was it at the Board of Supervisors or the Planning Commission? And then I could look at the budget. These are the budgeted items, and I could see the budget amount. And it was 149,000 for 2020, and we spent 161,000. So it's over $12,000 over budget. And I could see which law firm we paid the most, and that was Kilkenny, which was 78% versus those others. And here's the chart for the types of services. So that's the reason, some of the things I could do with the bills list. The treasurer's report is a good source of information for this sort of thing on a monthly basis. For example, I can go back to the supervisor's page. Okay, and go to the previous folder, and I could access the treasurer's report here. And the latest one is May 2021. And let's open that. And see what kind of useful information we can find here. So I'm going to skip down. Unfortunately, some of these things are at different angles here. But I'm going to go down to find something that might be of interest to you. Okay, so it has like for each department, like the technology, different breakdowns for technology, the financial administration, and the information I'm going to look at here are the police services. And what it's telling you here is the different types of allocations of funds that were budgeted for 2021. This is the budget line. And this is the monthly expenditures in each category for May. And this is the year-to-date expenditures. And this is what's remaining in the budget that hasn't been spent yet. And this is the percent of the budgeted amount. So we can see, well, down here at the HRA contribution, we made everything we need to be made. I don't think there's any more. But some other these things like, can tell you if you're getting over budget or not. But we're in May, and we only spent about 1/3 of the total budget The total budget was over 5.6 million, and we've only spent 3.8 million. So while the treasurer's report is very informative, it does not break down payments into specific categories, such as legal fees paid to specific law firms, and for which purpose. So I still rely on the bills list for that sort of detail. In any case, I hope that you found this lesson interesting, and perhaps you will do your own different analysis and get back to me about what you learned. Thanks for listening.